Morning folks. So, a day today in the woods. Just me today. So this is one of our new permissions, just a couple of weeks old. These are the woods. Not really explored these yet, so I'm going to give this a couple of hours this morning. It's nice at the moment, nice weather, very nice. It's supposed to be windy and rainy later, so I'm going to try and get in maybe a couple of hours, maybe 3 if I'm lucky. See what I can find. No George, no Dean today, just me. So, as you can see, lots of bits and pieces, lots of places to dig around, have a detect. So, just me today, and the minelab Equinox 600. So, I'm going to try and video everything that I detect, including the junk, so that we get as much footage as we can, and hopefully we can find some decent things. So, we'll see you at the first hole. So, first in the hole, disappointed. An old ring pool, and a root is actually grown through that, so I'll get rid of that in a minute. But there we go, first hunk of junk. Never mind, let's crack on. Just another signal, but this just might be a sign of what we're going to get round about near the entrance. Yep, modern trash unfortunately. Never mind, we'll work through this, and hopefully, as I say, we'll get some decent bits and pieces in between. Maybe some coins, maybe some jewellery, see what we'll get. Okay, so next out the hole is an old jar with a lid on, screw lid, so fairly modern. Strangely, the whole thing's intact, but there's not a single marking or a name on the jar, so nothing worth keeping, I'm afraid. Okay, so it's gold, but it's just an old bottle top. So again, I'm barely 10 feet from that gate, but this just seems to be what kind of stuff we're getting. So I'm going to move in a bit, see if I can get better ground to dig on. It's too stony here. Okay, let's crack on. So, this looks a bit more promising. You can see sort of how the soil is here. Very typical woods, quite dry, very full of roots. But out popped the hole. Now, what's that? Let's have a look, shall we? Give me a second. So, next up, well, we're going to get these in the woods, aren't we? Just the end of a cartridge shell. Doesn't ring up a great signal, round about 11. Dangerously close to where gold rings up. But yeah, to be expected. Okay, let's move on. So, next out the hole, what have we got? Can of Carlsberg. Yeah, well, that was buried under the surface, but I guess that's one of those things. Bit early for a beer anyway. Never mind, let's crack on. So I think what we've got here, end of a spoon, end of a very small spoon. That's not big. It's pretty corroded, I can't tell if there's anything on it. Any utensil, fork, knife, whatever, but it's been little. Signal comes up as 11, so I'll give it a clean later, and again, if it's worth looking at, we'll post it at the end. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm tracking down here because I think there's a little path as well. About 300 yards in the distance, right through the trees, right in the middle there is a ruin. We don't know how old it is, we don't know what it was called. It's over 100 years old anyway. We had a wee route about, Dean and I, a while ago. A week ago, I mean. So we're heading down that way. Anyway, I've just had another exciting find, I hope. So again, you can see the nature of this. Digging's quite easy, which is great. And flipped out the hole. And what's that? Give us a second, we will have a look. Looks like a coin. We'll check it just now. Here's a strange one. This was in the hole. 22 signal. Sounds great. Out it comes. And it's a square with nothing on it. It's the same on the other side. Haven't a clue what that is. That's quite small, about the size of a first class stamp. Don't know, so we'll keep going on. I've moved down a bit, I'll show you where I am now. So we're getting closer now. Try not to break my ankle in the hole. There's the ruin, just through the trees there. So I'm making my way there, as I say. And then I think after that I'll turn back and I'll head back along where I think, along here. Now I think just across from me here, I think through those trees, I think there's another path. So I'm going to go up there and see what we can find. Okay, let's crack on. Yeah, I don't know what this is. It's firmly in the ground, like way deeper than I can dig. And it's solid. There appears to be nothing on it. So it's probably meant to have been in the ground. Probably still is meant to be in the ground. So I'm going to cover it up and leave it in the ground. For point of reference, it's by this tree stump. Which is just across from the big rhododendron bushes in the woods on the other side of the road. So there we go. So just dug this out the hole. I don't know what that is. It broke in my hands. Looks silver, but I don't think it is. It wouldn't have broken. Not sure. There's a sort of a little path here. You can probably see the little hint of a path that goes up here. So I'm just going to go up and down here. I was just actually doing this little clearing here. Nothing in there at the moment, but I've not done a lot. So, not found anything for about half an hour. But we'll keep looking. We'll see what we can come up with. Okay, let's crack on. Well, it's a bit difficult cleaning these things today in this environment. But I can tell you, from the shape and from the three thistles, that's a threepenny bit. That's a nice find. You can just sort of see the outline there. So fingers crossed, I might actually be on a path, I was thinking. The maps, the old maps, certainly show a path or two being in here, but I don't know how often they're walked. This wood's in between the middle of nowhere and the middle of somewhere else. It literally is. It's not a common highway at all. It's beside a road, but obviously the roads are far more modern. So we'll keep going, see if we can find some more of these. Brilliant. This is a good sign. That's the hole I just found the threepenny bit in. So, as everybody will tell you, and as it absolutely proves you must do this, go back over your hole before you finish it. Because right beside it, now in this one, I got another signal. And lo and behold, what's that? Let's have a look. Give me a second. So that was weird. Signal just kept coming, slightly to the southeast of that hole. So I dug a bit more, and guess what? There's another one. Difficult to get focus here. There we go. Just another square. Nothing on either side. Okay. Presumably they've been used to mark, I don't know, maybe trees, boundaries, fences, something like that. Don't know. If you know what these are, just leave a comment. Cool. So there we go, just out the hole. Now that bottle's tiny. So there's my thumb against the bottle. Very, very small. And I think obviously the detector picked up the lid. Can't tell you what that is. Came up as a 7, then an 8 on the 600. So that's a low signal. Again, nothing on that wee bottle, something in it. As long as the lid stays dry and sealed, I'll put it in my pocket and we'll see if we can get anything off it. Okay, so here's an odd thing. I got a signal I thought was in the hole, whereas actually, I think it's that. Now, I can't just pull it out with my fingers, so don't know what this is. Probably industrial, but give me a minute, I'll pull it out and we'll have a look. So, after about 6 or 7 cartridge shells in a row, which are all pinging up between 7, 8, and then one at 18, which is strange. So, then I got another 18, and we have a much larger bullet casing. So, this bit's a bit trashy. Shame. So, most of the coins, well, all the coins, were down that side. This middle section here, no joy at all. So, never mind. Let's crack on. Well, to be honest, I don't know what that is. There's detail under it, but it's so covered. I just can't tell yet. It's quite small, it's farthing size. And I think it's copper, I don't think it's silver. Anyway, I'll clean that up and we'll see if we can get some photos when I get back to the house. Okay, let's crack on. A bit of rubbish, folks. Decent hole. Good signal, and what do we get? A tube of all-purpose adhesive. Good grief. In the middle of here. Isn't that mad? Look how modern day rubbish it's it ends up everywhere. Not good. Do us a favour, folks. Pick your rubbish up, put it in your bag, take it home and put it in the bin. Okay, let's crack on. I've got about 40 minutes left. See what we've got. Light's going a bit. Still perfectly warm. It's not raining in here, certainly. But we'll see if I can find any more coins. Okay. So another one of these things. I don't know. So probably industrial use in an agricultural environment. Possibly, don't know, been around a fence or something. Not sure. Not seen them before. If anybody knows what they might be, just leave a comment. Okay, let's crack on. So right beside a wee tree. Quite a good signal actually. 18. Fairly deep hole, but who knows what that is. A ring of some sort, possibly agricultural again. Probably industrial. Don't know, we'll clean up and see if anything comes out of it. Okay.